All right, guys, welcome back. Today we're going to do a quick overview of this new kind of SPR rifle that I built. It took a while to hunt down all these pieces, so we'll talk through why I picked what I picked for it, and then we'll also discuss a little bit along the way about what kind of competitions and use I'm going to do with this rifle. So up front here, we got the Knights NT4 MAMS. I wanted to give the multi-axis muzzle stability, the MAMS muzzle device, a shot. This one's also compatible with the NT4 suppressor, and just on my first outing with it, like wow, I'm really impressed. It does a great job of just keeping the rifle completely flat, very little movement. There's a lot of blast coming out of these little holes, but again, like wow, guys, they did a great job with it. I'm super satisfied with that. Even if you don't want to mount a suppressor, I think this is a great way to go. Under the hood here, we got a Hodge 16-inch barrel. I'm super satisfied with that. You guys know I'm a Hodge fan, especially when it comes to the barrels. I'll do a little picture-in-picture here so you guys can see the last group I shot with it, but it's a well under a 1 minute group, and I only have 100 rounds through it so far, so really no break-in required. The handguard is like an original kind of OG Geissele M4 handguard, as it says Super Modular Rail M4 on it, not Mark 1. It doesn't have the built-in QD points. It's a DDC, so desert dirt color, anodized, just really badass rail. I put 2 of the Geissele sling points on the opposite side here, like I always do for mounting, and then we see I got a long pick rail section here, and then 2 short ones. So up front, it's kind of that traditional bipod placement. And then I threw one back here. I think I'm going to give it a shot at placing a bipod close to the receiver, so that when I'm shooting like a quantified performance match, I can come off an obstacle and then pull down a bipod and have a bipod ready to shoot in the prone without using the barricade or obstacle for support. This is something I'm going to play with, see how it works out. It's also working out as a nice little index point for my support hand when shooting without support. So again, huge fan of this rail. It took me a while to hunt one down, and I had to buy actually another upper that it was mounted on to get the rail off that upper. So dedication, right? The receiver is a Geissele Super Duty receiver. It's again DDC anodized. I'm really impressed actually with how tight the fit is. Very happy with it. I think Geissele does a really good job, especially if you buy during their sales. They're also pretty good value. I got a Hodge bolt carry group in here. I have a Geissele SSAE trigger. So again, really nice trigger. Very little take up. Very light, very consistent. Kind of hear that positive snap. That's that new Geissele selector. I'm also a fan of that. We got the SPR grip. You've heard me talk about that a million times. And then to round out the lower, we got the HRF Concepts Rifle Combat Magwell. I bought a bunch of them now. I think they're worth it. They're great. And I also have their little cattail knob thrown on here as well. I went with the Badger charging handle. It's a bigger charging handle. So my kind of theory with that is that a lot of competitions you start either bolt forward or condition 3. So being able to get back here, rapidly charge that rifle is going to help in competition. I like how they rounded off the points of this. I feel like this enlarged charging handle is less of a snag hazard than some of the pointier options. Then back on the end here, again, Geissele buffer tube, DDC, SOP mod stock with some Velcro, not only for my cheek, but for a dope card. And then as we work into quantified performance, PRS, things like that, this is going to be kind of replaced more with some notes and some computer programs. And then underneath here, we got that M4 tool coming from Multicaster Tools. Optic setup, you've seen this a bunch before, not on the rifle. Like that's why it wasn't on a rifle, it was waiting to be put on this. I got the Razor Gen 3 1-10 with MRAD adjustments. On top, I got a piggybacked RMR 09. So this is the 1 minute dot. And then I have a Knights bubble level all the way in the rear there. So I'm super, super happy with this optic setup. You know, I'm gonna shoot it on 10 a lot, right? So that's 1 and on 10. Super smooth throw. I like the head position I can get with this RMR. I think Reptilia, with their mount and their top cover, they did a really good job of getting the RMR just low enough that there's a tiny bit, maybe a 1/16 of an inch of top cap, but that 1/16 of an inch is totally worth it for a little lower head position when utilizing the red dot there. As far as adjustments, I can easily see my adjustments for my elevation, even with the RMR behind it, not in front of it. And again, these are capped windage and elevation, so I'm shooting off holds with the Christmas tree reticle rather than making clicks anyway. So it's not a big deal to have this behind the elevation turret. We see that how I have the optics set up in the rings, there really isn't a lot of room to put this RMR in the front without hitting, again, that elevation turret. So that kind of drives why I have it in the middle here. Again, you got to make it fit for you. Like, what's more important, having my slightly preferred front versus mid, I don't really care, or having the proper eye relief on the magnified optic. Easy choice. You want that magnified optic to have the correct eye relief for you. In short, guys, just super happy with this setup. Again, I'm going to shoot a bunch of cool matches with this. I'll get you guys some good footage of it. I'll post up some groups so you can kind of see what I'm doing with it. I'll get you guys some footage of this Knight MAMS, the MAMS muzzle device in action. As always, guys, any questions, let me know. Your feedback is really driving a lot of the content that I'm putting up. Thanks.